Listen, Jimbo, we got another great guest here. Yes. We're in Boston. We're having a great time. Restaurant 365, the RTTTTT. That's transformational technology. What is it there, Jim?
Yes, it's just a transformational tour. Shatsy's been trying to sneak extra tea.
Damn it. Well, I got to tell you, we've got a great guest here, and it's Mr. Paul Walker, owner of Village Inn Walker Group. We're loving it. Can't wait to get to know Mr. Paul Walker from Chicago. But before we get into Mr. Paul Walker from Chicago, and he's going to tell us all about everything going on, let's just dive into a little bit of history, shall we, Jimmy?
Do the best you can, but Paul's going to fact check you, and you really...
That's okay, Jimmy. Jimmy, I am very confident. Yeah. The Walker family has been involved with Village Inn, Jimmy, in Denver since the 1950s, okay? This is like...
You are correct, sir.
Yeah, this is going back. In the 1950s, okay? In Denver, the Walker family and the Village Inn, okay? Paul's grandfather, Dow Sherwood, okay? Mr. Dow Sherwood to you, Jimmy, okay? He opened one of the company's first franchise in Florida in 1961. We're going to find out what that franchise was, okay? Was it a Burger King? We don't know. We don't know yet. We're going to find out. He's shaking his head, so it wasn't a Burger King, Jimmy, so don't guess that, okay? Fast forward a couple, 20, 30, 40 years, Paul and his brother Jimmy, not you,
I know,
not you,
brother Jimmy,
jumped into business full-time after spending summer after summer working in the restaurants. Paul, I probably got some of that right, probably got half of it right. Am I right? Am I wrong? Let's dive into Walker family. You're in Denver in the 1950s. You're with Dow Sherwood, your grandfather. Take us back. How did it all start? And take us to that 1961 franchise.
That's a great intro. Wow. Amazing. The homework is great. So my grandfather was a mechanic in Chicago. Saw an ad for a Village Inn clothes shop. Went out to Denver to take a look at the prototype with the Andersons. Went there on a Sunday morning. Saw a line around the building. So I got to get in. All I could see was a cash register. So he decided to buy a plot of land down in Tampa, Florida, and he won it, and he figured out, okay, and got into the restaurant business. He figured out really quick that you had to figure out in our business Monday through Friday, because Saturday and Sundays you're going to be busy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
This is that Monday through Friday.
Yeah, I was gonna say like Monday and Tuesdays are the ones you got to figure out, you know?
Right. And so he did, and he was a great. He and my grandmother were awesome. My grandmother, she ran the show. She got out of her car, you hear people yell, "Fire in the hole." She was mean. I say mean, she was mean. But she ran that place. And my grandfather, he was out there and he was shaking hands, and everyone loved him. He was just a great, great guy. He was, matter of fact, George Steinbrenner gave the eulogy at his funeral.
You kidding me?
Yeah, he was friends with Pete Rose. It was amazing.
Is that the Tampa connection?
That was the Tampa connection.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. So wait, what was the first franchise?
First franchise was a guy named Bronstein. Matter of fact, their family still owns some restaurants.
What's it called?
The Bronstein family. It's Village Inn Restaurant.
Oh, okay. I got it.
The originator was a guy named Anderson.
Got it. I love it. So long time. You're in the thick of it, man. The weeds of the restaurant business, man.
Yep.
We got ourselves a real restaurant.
I love this. Look, I'm Shatsy and I have known each other a long time. We're coming up, we're a couple of years shy of 4 decades. We're very relationship oriented. And I have the privilege, not only do I born and raised in New York City, but my brothers and their family and my father, we all live in the same neighborhood, like within 6 or 7 blocks of each other. My wife likes to say we're the not funny version of Everyone Loves Raymond. Like we're always around each other's business and stuff, or in each other's apartments and stuff. So I'm a big family guy. So when I was reading your story, I love how this not just the industry is going bloodline, but literally passing generation to generation, and that's pretty special. Can you share, how have you grown the Walker Group? You got over 40 restaurants now throughout the country, and since we are meeting at the R365 conference, then I'll be respectful and saying, how has R365 played a role in, helping you guys get to where you are and playing a role as a strategic ally or partner to you all?
I would tell you the only way we're able to get as big as we are is because of 365. In 2019.
That's some big stuff right there, Jimbo.
Yeah, no, I gotta tell you, there's been a lot of love for our
A lot of love.
Oh, continue. No, go ahead. I want to hear it.
Yeah. So we just closed a deal in 2019 to bring us up to 15 stores. And we were in Florida, Virginia, and now we were going to be in Arkansas and Illinois. And got through the deal. It's a tough deal. Got it. Everything's great. We're running first part of 2020, our franchisor files for bankruptcy and closes 60 stores. They had 120 stores. They closed 60. Pandemic hits a couple minutes later. We shut everything down and we start coming back up. And then franchisor came to us and said, hey, we need someone to take over. We got 30 stores. We're going to close unless someone takes them over. And my brother and I looked at each other and said, listen, if we don't take these over, we're done as a brand. So we have to do this. So we did it. But it was because of 365. We were able to do it because of 365.
Yeah, it gave you the ability to manage multi-units in all those different areas.
Absolutely. And these guys have been wonderful the whole way through. They've just been absolutely wonderful. So that's why I come to every one of these things.
That's it. That's awesome. And I get, we've had some fun this afternoon, having some customers and friends and some new relationships of our 365, some long-standing relationships. And there's really been, somebody used the word love. And I know that someone might be listening to the podcast and say, oh, come on, who loves their accounting software solution? And I'm telling you, I am a restaurant owner. I'm not in the operations like Shatsy and some of our other partners. If you can solve that pain point, and to your point, help grow and help bring order to what would otherwise be chaos, I don't know how to describe it. It is an emotional thing. They're allowing you to build a business and look at the people you get to employ because of it. Look at the people, the lives you get to change because of it. So I have to tell you, I'm having a good time. This is only my second RTT, but I hope they invite me back again because I'll keep showing up.
Of course you would, Jimmy. You'll show up anyway. As long as they open bar at 4:30, 100%.
Why I showed up?
Yeah. So what was your first job in the restaurant space? What was your first gig?
Can I say one thing?
Sure, of course. Yeah, no, you can say to
that
Jimmy.
Love, you're spot on. I look at the word love as a verb, right? It's all about service.
Yep.
That's what these guys do. They're here to serve. They're here to serve.
Yeah.
That's where the love comes from.
Totally agree. Yeah.
Then when I was, my grandfather used to call us up when we were kids. Hey, you guys want to come down and go swimming, fishing, boating?
He really wanted you to work, didn't he?
Absolutely. Day 1, boating, swimming, fishing. Day 2, here's your boat tie. Let's go. Going to work.
So this trick in the book deal. You want to go do this? He can like to work, of course. He's smart, that guy, 100%. So what do you have you doing?
Bussing.
There you go, man. Did he at least let you keep some of the tips or anything like that, or no?
No, the servers used to get pissed at us because we were taking some of their tips.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Your grandfather owns it. You don't need money.
Not to him. He goes, how much should we cut the deal? I was like, okay, it's $1 an hour. After the first hour, I walked back. I said, I want my $1. He said, get your ass back.
Yeah, I'm talking to me about, yeah. You're lucky I'm giving you dinner tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just $6. And the dinner cost $8.
Yeah,
and the real more costs another 10. You all.
Exactly.
I love it.
Welcome to the real world.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you've been in the restaurant space a long time. You just told the story about the 30 franchises. Are you still operating those, or did you end up re-franchising those?
No, still operating.
Still operating.
We're now down at 40 stores, but we're going to start growing this year.
So with all the stores you got and all the stuff's been going on in the restaurants, what give me a funny story. Is a funny story or two that stands out that's just like, because Jimmy's got a bunch of funny stories and I want to hear another one because I hear them all the time. Give me another funny story. You got anything good that stands out? If not, Jimmy's going to say something.
You trigger something, and it's something probably with my brother. My brother comes across as.
And you guys are partners, older or younger?
He's younger.
He's younger. You beat the crap out of him?
I can.
Nice. Excellent.
Excellent.
By the way,
Jimmy's the middle.
I'm the middle child. My older brother's a much bigger man than me. My younger brother's a much bigger man than me. But I've never lost. We used to box, my younger brother and I, brother Teddy. I've never lost a boxing match to him. I've never lost a game of one-on-one basketball to him. I stopped playing him when he was in 7th grade.
Yeah, actually,
So I was at least clever enough to realize that I had maxed out and I should stop. My brother still asked me to get back on the court or in the ring, but I won't go.
So, to my brothers, in basketball, I was LLC.Paul. I was the worst athlete. but
I like that. It's so good. That's not the nickname you want.
no. So I went to wrestling.
Yeah.
I made a career out of wrestling. That was my deal.
Yeah, nice. I got to tell you, you know what? I mean, don't let, but I used to wrestle and I grabbed like 98 pounds or something like that, but nonetheless. And I got to tell you, man, there was no time in my life that I was in better shape than I wrestled. I wrestled like the Pee-wee, like 7th, 8th, 9th, and like 10th grade. I mean, you could do like 200 push-ups, right? I mean, right? I mean, where were you wrestling? In Chicago?
Chicago.
High school?
Yeah, high school.
College too?
Wisconsin.
Dude, Wisconsin, that's like the real deal. Like those guys are good.
Yeah.
Like I see like Iowa, like that's
I was average.
but that's okay. But you
guys,
wrestle.
do me a favor later tonight. Don't mouth off.
Yeah. No, wrestling's
like 2 hits.
Because how long was wrestling?
You're hitting the floor.
The wrestling's like, it's like 3 periods, like 2 minutes, like something. It's the most exhausting. Like, am I right?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, you got to be in the best shape. I just remember doing stairwells in high school. And it wouldn't let you out of the stairwell until the glass was steamed up. Everyone just doing a train of stairwells. Yeah, I love it, man. That's cool. So
you want a funny story? Does it have to be in the restaurant?
No, any funny story you want, just so Jimmy doesn't tell another story.
So my brothers, my 2 brothers, younger brothers, they when the flip phones came out, they used to call each other when they take a dump in a public restroom. Hey, what are you doing? I just built a nest at Home Depot. You got to. So the candid phone comes out. My youngest brother takes a picture of himself, right, on the commode and sends it to my brother Jimmy. He's laughing. My brother looks at it, and he has zero ability in technology, but he was able to download this picture, takes it to Walgreens, and makes a Christmas card. Unbeknownst to my other brother. Merry Christmas from Matt, youngest of the litter, thinking of you while I'm on the shitter.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And he sends it out to everyone, unbeknownst to my brother.
Might have been Seinfeld.
Yeah, right.
With the nip.
Exactly. He comes home and my guy's girlfriend's like, "What's wrong with you?"
That's all you can say.
A lot, but what did I do now? She shows him the picture. He's like, "Oh my God."
Oh, I love it. I love it. Does anyone still have the card?
Yes,
definitely.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Ah, man, we got to see that for sure.
And he never took a picture on the porcelain throne.
Throne, yeah, never, yeah, 100%.
My brother has it as a Christmas ornament.
I love it. I love it.
Listen, we've had the pleasure on the podcast of having many franchisors, and we talked to them about the challenges, about leading from the sidelines, and what do they look for, as far as communication and growth with their franchisee partners. So today we get to flip the script, and find out from you, what are some of the challenges, if any, from your perspective of growing, and changing and developing your stores as a franchisee. I have to tell you, and there's a history of some of the most iconic, let's say restaurant items to being developed and coming out of the franchisees. I mean, the filet of fish franchisee from McDonald's, footlong, $5 footlong franchisee.
The Big Mac.
Okay,
Right.
so I didn't know what the Big Mac.
Yeah,
Filet fish.
100%.
So as a franchisee, what are some of you, from your perspective? Because I think this is an
It's a great
interesting
question. It's a great question. It's interesting because what's happened to us is that we've gone from hedge fund to hedge fund to hedge fund, right? And we've struggled. And with these hedge funds, they come in, they got the new extra, I'm the expert now, and here's what we're going to do. And they mandate it. And as the franchisee, we're in the stores, we're boots on the ground. We're close to the action, what's going on. And I would venture to say the only reason we're in existence today is because of the group of franchisees that we have. And it's because they stuck together, they kept the culture,
Mhm.
right? And, we've seen things like the product, start whittling down, and that really bothers us. And, they see the corporate stores aren't being managed properly. It bothers us. So, when I came back online, I was like, I wanted to buy the company only from the perspective I just want to get us right.
Yeah.
Right. And we have some great partners now, franchisor that we have. It's awesome. So we're able to collaborate on quality, get back to the quality, get back to
Basics, baby.
That's it.
It's got to have good
The
food,
one thing
man.
I would add, and I think I think it dovetails wonderfully to what you just said. Some of the most elite and strongest franchisors, at least that I think I've had the privilege of speaking with and listening to, they are incredibly respectful and value their franchisees. In fact, we come across, because we're always talking about interesting tech that could be helpful. And we never push tech. We will recommend what we think is right for the operator. And if somebody asks us for something and their business is not right for what we might have in our portfolio, we'll tell them who they should be using. Because at the end of the day, we're operators. And if we treat if operators win, guests will win, the good technology will win. It all works.
Absolutely.
You got to satisfy the operator. And the most elite franchisors that we've come to speak with, one of the first things they say to us is, we would never force our franchisees to take anything. And we wouldn't expect them to, but I love that they're like, they've got to run their business.
Right.
So I think it's great that you recognize, and you have some good partners now, but it does go both ways. They got to respect, you're in the weed. So they have to respect it and see it.
But that's what happens a lot of times. I got to tell you, Jimbo, and I don't want to mention any names, but I'll give you a couple. I mean, you mentioned sometimes the big investment firms, the private equity guys, things like that. No disrespect. I mean, it's all part of the circle of life, and there's necessary. But sometimes they come in and they what they love about the business, that why they buy the business, and they go and destroy the very thing that they loved about it, which was the good food, the culture, to save a few bucks because they, that's the business, they got to make money. And I get that. But I mean, I remember Le Pan Côte got bought.
Exactly what I was thinking about.
Because
I remember that we loved it.
And you thought Le Pan Côte, I used to go, you would think there was a single unit mom and pop store. And then a big private equity bought it. I don't remember the name. It's not really important, but like the bean counters came in. They're like, oh, you have too much this and then your portions and then too much stuff.
They also said, you're overstaffed.
And went back.
One server should take care of many more tables. And then it lost all the appeal.
Everything alone.
And
it went bankrupt.
It went bankrupt.
And now, Rigos and those guys bought it for pennies.
And by the way, Circle Life, Lion King. There you go. Don't sneak.
Don't think
this
about rest. Some guy bought it back.
Yes.
And he's building it back up again. Dumped a bunch of bad leases and he's building it back up again. But you really, at the end of the day, I remember we had a conversation with somebody and we were talking about ultra fast delivery. And Jimmy and I were never a big fan of the ultra fast delivery. I get you anything you want in 15 minutes, And I was having a conversation. I'm like, I don't know. Does it really, it seems like a pint of Haagen-Dazs ice cream, you're delivering it to me for $70. It seems a little ridiculous, I'm paying $5. It costs you $70 to get me that. It sounds ridiculous. He said, look, as long as you get stumping to somebody fast, they don't care. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, it doesn't matter what it tastes like. I'm like, it doesn't matter what it tastes like? No, as long as it's fast. It's fast. I'm like, really? Are you sure about that? I'm like, I don't buy that. I don't buy that, man. If it's not good food, I don't care if it comes fast or slow. No one's eating it. And you go out of business,
Oh, really interesting. Clearly, Schatz and I like to banter and gab. But we also learned in doing this podcast that sometimes our guest may have a question for us. So it's not putting you on the spot, but we will pass the mic to you. If there's anything you'd like to ask us, as I like to say, nothing's off the table.
What the hell am I doing here with these two idiots?
Okay, I can answer that. If that's his question, I'll answer it. But anyway, any question you might want to ask of us?
How'd you get the information about me?
Oh my God. Yeah. Let me tell you something. Your brother Jimmy. I told him, I'm her brother Jimmy. He's a brother Jimmy. We start chatting.
Your brother Jimmy sent me pictures of you, by the way.
It surprised me.
Our producer, who is a partner with Brandon and was worked with Shatsy now up and over a decade now.
Yeah. I think it's 11 or 12 years, Julie, right?
Yes,
Julie, give us a signal. Give us a signal.
She is very thoughtful about our guests. And but I think you may be the guest today that Shatsy got it mostly right. He aged a bunch of people by misreading and getting their college graduation year off, replaced a 9 with a 7. All of a sudden the person's 20 years older. And I'm like, what are you doing to these people? But today, for you, he absolutely got it right. And we had a lot of fun doing this. We love working with operators because we think there's one who drive. I know that's like the Oscars, when Jimmy's speech goes too long. We got to put it. Listen, it's time for the food service feud trivia, Tuesday trivia edition. I got to tell you, we are very, very fortunate to have you here. And we asked 100 million people on LinkedIn. Every Tuesday, we have a poll out there. Okay. We asked 100 million people for the top answers on the board for this question. Get your buzzer, and you and Jimmy are going to play the food service feud. Are you ready? All right, Paul, here we go. I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to give you the 4 answers. You tell me what's the number 1 answer. Which chocolate bar is the global bestseller? Is it Twix? Jimmy smiled. Is it Snickers? Jimmy smiled again. Is it the Hershey bar? Jimmy didn't smile. Or the Kit Kat? Oh, Jimbo, what do you got? By the way, I'm not saying it's my favorite because you my
I
favorite.
just
was
said
there.
it's the best selling.
Yeah, I got to go with the original, the big dog of Hershey. I got to go Hershey because you got the s'mores and Hershey.
Jimbo.
Yeah?
I got to go to this. I got to go to this because you always like when I do this.
So I win?
No, that's the losing sound. That's losing sound. Paul, you can steal. You can steal and win fabulous prizes.
I'll go Snickers.
Ding, 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 ding. Oh, a little something about good fat and good chocolate bars. Snickers. Snickers is the top-selling candy bar in the United States, and it's produced by Mars Inc., the classic chocolate bars made with nougat, caramel, and peanuts, and it's been a favorite among Americans since its introduction in the 1930s. Jimmy, if you eat up fun industry facts as much as we do, then you should check out our newly released R365 2024 State of the Restaurant Industry Report. You can download the full report for my fun facts at restaurant365.com. Click the resources tab, and we'll link it to show notes. Jimmy, if you see a picture of Jimmy, by the way, you can click it and he'll give you more foods that he likes to eat. Jimmy, do you know what this report cost?
I think it's very expensive.
You'd think it was very.
Very
Paul, do you want
expensive.
to guess how much this report cost?
No.
It's like, no, let me out of here. Do I ever have to come back to the
I'm enjoying this.
podcast?
It's all good. This is
Again.
great.
It's free. It's 100% free. All right, listen, we got, hold on.
Hold on, Shatsy, do me a favor. Can you say our prices are insane? You sound like Crazy Eddie right now.
Prices so low, the ready, give it all away. Shop around, get the best prices, then come to Crazy Eddie. The prices so low, right, give it all away. All right, listen, we've got one more thing, and then you can go get a drink, okay? It's the branded quickfire, okay? Branded quickfire, Boston edition, okay? I'm going to ask you 5 lightning round questions. Don't think too hard, okay? I know you're not from Boston. You're from Chicago and now living in Florida, right? But this is the Boston edition, so there's nothing about Chicago or Florida on these questions,
New York.
okay? Or New York.
New York.
All right. Favorite restaurant chain started in Boston. Is it Legal Seafood, Pizzeria Uno, Bertucci's, or Papagino's?
Bertucci's.
Nice.
That's the first Bertucci today.
It's a good brand.
Doesn't Rabbit Earl and Bertucci's? I swear. Are you sure? No. Good. That's what I thought he did. Favorite TV show set in Boston. Is it Cheers, Sabrina the Teenage Witch? I don't know that one.
I think Paul
Ally McBeal, or The Practice?
Give it to him, Paul.
Here you go, cheers.
Boom. Shatsy had that one teed up for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Favorite Boston-born celebrity. Is it Mark Wahlberg? That's what Jimmy likes. Uma Thurman, Ed Norton, Barbara Walters, or Conan O'Brien?
Ed Norton or Wahlberg.
Yeah, I gotta tell you. What's your favorite Norton movie? What's the one that,
American History X.
right, American History X. What was the one that he did
crazy.
with Brad Pitt? What was it with the boxing or something like that? Like,
Yeah,
Did they do that?
Fight Club.
Fight Club. That was pretty good too, right?
Very quotable.
Yeah,
Very
that
good.
was good.
One rule.
All right, this is not gonna, for a Chicago guy, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this. Red Sox, Celtics, Bruins, or Patriots?
Red Sox.
If you were to challenge Jimmy Rye to compete for the best time in the famous Boston Marathon, that's the marathon now. That's the real deal. That's like 20
It's
something
about
miles.
26.2 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, give or take.
No, whatever. It's a marathon. It's a big thing. Yeah. Who do you have better odds of beating? You, me, and Jimmy, we go in the Boston Marathon, run it. We beaten.
Not you two.
You're not beating us?
I don't run. That's as
Unless you're
I
being
don't run.
chased.
Exactly, I'm being chased. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I hear you. But by the way, I'm not running either. I would stop at Cheers actually and probably grab a beer. Probably grab a
I'd be
beer.
right behind you.
And Jimmy would be, I don't know where he'd be, but he'd be getting the Grand Slam at Denny's or something like that, right, Jimbo?
Denny's show. We had a lot of fun with Denny's this week.
A lot of fun with Denny's. All right, listen, this was absolutely fantastic meeting Paul Walker, owner, Village Inn, the Walker Group. They have 14,000 restaurants across the country. They're in every state. Every state in the country. They're moving on. They're going even beyond the continental. They're going to Alaska and Hawaii. So check it out. Look for it. And I think they're doing Singapore and the EU very soon. But it's great having him here. And we got to meet his brother, Jimmy, right?
Yes.
We got to get
everyone needs
Jimmy
a
in.
brother.
I got to see that Christmas card. I got to see that holiday card because that's a classic. This was awesome.
Sorry, Mary.
Listen, let's. The bar is open. Let's go get a drink. This is great. Hey, cheers for everybody.
Cheers, guys. Thanks, Paul.
Take care, man.
Jimbo, I got to tell you, we're coming down to the end. We're coming down to the end at the RTTTTD Restaurant Transformational. What's it stand for again?
It's RTT, the RTT Restaurant Transformational Tour.
But it's
Boston.
Restaurant 365.
It's Restaurant
Transformational
360.
Tour.
It's the R365 RTT, the
Well,
restaurant.
we're here, like Jimmy just said, we are here at the R365 RTTTT live from Boston. And I got to tell you, we have had about 37 guests. I don't think we've ever had any more podcast guests than we had today. It has been a long day. And I got to tell you, the bar is open. Jimmy, I hope they save a little Johnny and a little Mac for you.
I'm sure they will save.
Are they
You know
going to?
what? I think you can drink all you want. They'll make more.
All right, they have to
They'll
save.
get more.
All right, well, listen, Jimbo, I got to tell you, Plan was a great guest, right?
Very good guest. That was fun.
17,000 restaurants around the
He has a
globe.
brother, Jimmy.
I mean, as a brother, Jimmy, I love that. I love what he's doing. It's really cool. But I can tell you, it's not, you know what they say? They say the best.
Yes, they do.
Don't they?
I think
Don't
they do. I think
Well,
they say
we've
that,
got
but we
we've
did
got
it.
a rock star guest here right now, and I got to tell you, Jimmy, I think you know what the today's theme has been CFO, and you know you're the finance guy, so
Yes.
you're free. I feel like you're having more fun today because you're dealing with finance people.
I'm actually,
And you like
I'm
that.
with my people.
Yeah, you're
my
with your people. I mean, you
Yes.
had bankers today, you
Yes.
know, we had accountants today.
Yes.
You're like, oh, I really like bankers, you know. Guy worked at JP Morgan. You can relate to that.
I'm kidding me. I'm seeing him later tonight. We're ditching you, and I'm going out with the banker.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. Well, we've got here with us right now, Yildris Rodriguez-Ross, CFO of Fresh Dining. If you don't know what Fresh Dining
Fresh
is,
dining concept.
if you don't know Fresh Dining Concepts, well, Google it, okay? Google it, because they have like maybe 3,000 stores,
Leave the numbers to me.
whatever, but they got a lot of restaurants. It's focused brands. If you don't know anything about restaurants, focused brand, maybe I'm going to name drop, okay? Can I?
Hey,
All right, how about Aunt Anne's? How about Cinnabon, Jamba Juice, and one of my favorites, Carvel. Hey, I'm Tom Carvel. And Fudgy the Whale. He got Fudgy, because your dad's a Fudgy, what is that, Fudgy guy? What is it? He's a whale of a dad. He's a whale of a dad.
He's a whale of a dad.
He's a whale of a
All
dad.
right, Carvel's going to send us a letter and say,
Why?
please don't ever
Are you kidding
try to
me?
imitate.
I'll bet you their sales go up 15% after they hear this podcast, without a doubt. All right, well, listen, Fresh Dining Concepts. We've got Yildris here, okay? And let me just tell you a little something before we dive into it and get into know what makes you tick and how did you become.
This is Shatzy's Fraser Crane moment.
How did you become the CFO of 2,000 restaurants in these great brands? I don't know, but we're going to find out. I mean, Florida International University, it's 1997. FIU. You're like, what do I want to do with myself? It's 1997. You're at Shula's. You're serving. You're waiting tables. Maybe you're bartending a little bit when the shift opens up, you know, and you're there for a while. And you're saying, you know what? I love this, but I want more. I want more. It's 12 years you're at Shula's. 12 years at
Senior
Shula's.
vice president at Shula.
Senior vice president. Started out as like a bartender or a server or something. Maybe a host. I don't know.
You can fact check Shatz after he's done talking.
And now the CFO of Fresh Dining Concepts with thousands of restaurants all across the globe. 4 years the CFO. Yildris, take it away. Tell me, how much did I get right? How much did I get wrong? And how did you get here?
Thank you. That's an amazing introduction. A little bit different than reality, but we appreciate
But I was close though,
You were
right?
close. You were close.
You went to FIU,
I
right?
did. I went to FIU, and you got the year right.
All right, then.
Counts.
Shula's?
That's not. And I worked.
You
at
ate at
Shula's.
Shula's. You worked at
I ate
Shula's.
at Shula's. I worked
Watch
at
Shula
Shula's.
coach the Miami.
I got to be
Dolphins.
honest with
I-
you. What did I get wrong?
I knew Don Shula, who was an amazing man. May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
So really, my career started more on the business side. So I actually worked before at Arthur Anderson. You guys may remember it used to be an old
Absolutely.
accounting
Arthur
firm.
Anderson, you were an accountant.
I was in the accounting
Jimmy,
consulting
your
realm.
people are here.
People are here.
Jimmy and I
Bean
were
counter.
bonding over here.
Yeah, bean counter.
So then I actually fell into the hospitality industry because I knew the CEO of Shula's at that point, and he told me, "Come join me." And I said, "I don't."
How
know
many stores they
anything."
have at that time?
They had 4.
How many they got now?
Now they don't. I don't know how many they have. but
0.
they- yeah,
You
there's
leave.
only a
I'm
few.
just saying, you left and there's no more Shula's.
There-
Okay.
There's a few.
You put 2 and 2
There's
together.
some. There's
Who
still
was
some.
responsible for their
There's
success?
Still was 4. There's still a 4.
I don't know. But
Nah, you'll just built it up. Now there's none left. Okay.
But I did. I fell into the hospitality industry, and it's one that's absolutely so much fun to be in, and I enjoy it every day. And I was able to understand at that point that restaurateurs and folks who run the business of the restaurant space usually do not align the thought process of let's be organized, let's understand the P&L, let's make revenue, let's understand our food costs. Those 2 things are usually not aligned.
No. So we're just in time, baby.
So when I joined Shula's,
Let's put out fires, man.
part of what we tried to do is kind of create our own systems, right? Because the vision was always to grow the franchise, and it was a franchisor at that point. And that's what we did. And so I kind of fell into the industry, and I
Right.
never fell out. I stayed on, And one of the things that I had to do was do each position in the restaurant. So I was, I was a server, I was a bar back, I washed dishes.
That's how you learn, man.
And I really had a fond appreciation of the operations team. And that's helped me. And today I work with obviously Fresh Dining Concepts, and we have 220 locations.
That's what I said.
You know what? Soon to be 2,000.
I said 220.
That's exactly what you said.
Go back. We'll go back to the tape. You'll see what I said.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
Thank you.
And you know what? We will be at 2,000.
That's what I meant.
This is why you're
That's
so
what I
smart.
meant. Thank you.
Predictive. Schatzberg,
Yes.
you are the definition
I'm
of
smart. I'm smart.
You're the
Thank you,
definition
man.
of
Yes.
predictive analytics.
Over
You're
2,000
predictive.
stores, like I
Yeah.
said.
So today I get to work with the operators and understand their pain. And on the back end, on the back of the house, on the support office, we try to really produce the results and the information that they need to pivot and run the business. That's where obviously Restaurant 365 comes into play. We started implementing the inventory portion of the software. And
Like, when did you start using it?
we actually were in implementation. I used it before in my previous job. So I used it in the company that I was with before.
Okay.
And I actually was one of the first clients because I implemented in 2016.
So were you responsible for bringing it over to Fresh Dining Concepts?
I was.
If not, just say you are.
No, I was.
Sounds better.
I'm not going to lie about that. That's true.
Sounds nice because it's true.
Yeah,
It is
it's
true.
even
That's
better.
where it is
Even
true.
better.
We don't edit that.
No.
Okay, it's true.
But I did work with the operations team. It's important to get their buy-in and to make
Yeah,
sure that
100%.
they
They
feel
won't
that
use
they're
it if
being
they don't.
heard. Exactly. And at the end of the day, it's a tool for them and for us on the back office space.
Did you have to sell, like, who did you have to sell on your team to bring because it's a big undertaking.
It's a very big undertaking. Our CEO,
That many stores.
yeah, no, our CEO is extremely smart, and I love working
Imagine.
for him every day. But sometimes the technology aspect of it, he's not as embracing.
Right.
So that's a large undertaking, is to bring somebody to understand that you've got to make this investment in a software and in a system that's going to make us more efficient and bring in more dollars. And it's kind of the conversations that we had today. Even when Morgan spoke in the morning, he's like, everybody needs to understand accounting. They need to understand their P&L, but they also need to run a business.
Right.
And if you're able to provide them with the tools, they can focus on running a business, on selling more pretzels, on making more effective ways of connecting with the customer,
Mhm.
on upselling. Those are the things where the operators bring in the value, and they control that. They
So
bring in the dollars.
when you start bringing onboarding R365, what is the first area that you're bringing it? Is it inventory? That's your first step for you guys?
We're starting a little bit different, and we're going to bring in inventory. So that's
Right.
our first step. And then we'll probably do the financial component of it.
Right.
I'm here with our accounting team, who's super. And I think that they're pretty much in love with the tool. And I think that they see how important it would be for our team in the back of the house to really support, and
Yep.
also to be able to scale and grow. We're positioned for growth. That's what
You got to get
Fresh Dining
2,000
does.
stores. You're going to make me a liar.
Absolutely right.
I don't have a lot of
That's what
time
we do.
either. This podcast goes live next week.
That is what we're supposed to do. We're
It's
supposed
like about a
to
week to open like 1,800 stores.
Exactly.
Okay.
I
Just
gotta
make sure.
get busy. Very busy. I gotta tell the team.
100%.
But yes.
I love it. It's fantastic. It's great. Jimbo, what do you
Yeah, I
got?
wanna ask, actually, we had the privilege of speaking to Morgan earlier, and he brought up a topic. He explained one aspect of R365 that I think is unique. Branded is an active. We do own some restaurants in New York City, but really we're focusing, Schatz and I, on the on emerging tech and innovation. And our thesis has always been that's good for operators. It has to be operator centric. We feel if the tech that we're working with, investing with, and helping to curate addresses the pain points or helps, margin optimization for operators, it'll improve how they take care of their guests. So we're very B2B oriented. Morgan brought up something that I imagine you can relate to, and maybe you can comment on that R365. He has to not only, let's say, sell or convince the finance team, the finance director, the CFO.
Yep.
But he also has to convince the operator, that GM.
The ops
Yeah.
team.
And the ops team. And that to me is really unique relative to other, let's say, tech and software providers. Clearly he had an ally in you at Fresh Dining Concepts because you already used it. But
Yes.
talk about that.
But even just to add, it's not just the finance and the tech team.
Yeah.
Because the tech team's got to help implement all this
Yeah.
and make sure it integrates. So it's
Yeah.
a lot of people got to buy in on this.
Absolutely. And I can talk to that. I think being in the food space for such a long time. I mean, after I left Arthur Andersen, that's all I've done is I've been in the retail food space. always in my function of
Mhm.
support and back of the office or back of the house team. I'll tell you, I had not been able to find a software that would speak to the industry. And I spoke
Mhm.
to him offline afterwards. I
Mhm.
introduced myself and I said, congratulations. I mean, you did it. He really has created a product that speaks to the operator, but can also then solve for all the accounting principles and, the 222 froms and the journal entries and the bank reconciliations, all of that.
Debits and credits.
Also, the
Debits and
debits and
credits.
credits.
Oh, debits and
Exactly. You
credits. He
love
loves
that,
the
don't you?
debits and
I
Yeah.
credits.
love debit credit. Wait, how many questions did he ask me
I'm
about
naming
debit
my
and
next kid Debit and Credit.
And he's been able to do it, and the software works. And really, at our office, we were able to get the COO to buy into it, and
Mhm.
he was a driving force to convince our CEO this is the time to put in the system.
When
This is
the
the time to invest for scalability in the future.
100%. And when you get everyone to buy into it, and then they see the dashboards and the reporting and the tools and the real time data and the real time analytics, and at the tip of your finger, I mean, you can see everything happening in all of your stores. I mean, everyone's like, wow,
Yeah.
And for an industry that's been incredibly slow to embrace technology, having a software platform like R60, 365, it's just an amazing thing. We've been customers for years and years, and it's really, it's just an incredible tool. So we love it and appreciate what you guys are doing over there. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Just, is there any other, since we're very focused on tech and innovation, are there any other things that fresh dining concepts might be looking at? Whether it's back of house, and I always say, front of house is very important. Of course it's important. But money is really made and lost. And I think a lot of guests, while they appreciate what they see in front of house, they don't really have a great understanding. No disrespect, they don't know it, but really of everything that goes on to create that dish, create that item that then coming out of the kitchen that they're enjoying. But is there any software or any other things that you folks are leaning into at Fresh Dining Concepts on the tech or innovation side that's caught your eye?
Well, even today, I mean, I just sat through the dashboards presentation, right? And we live in a world where today the problem is a little bit different. A problem maybe 15 years ago is how do I get the information? How
Yep.
do I get it out of the system?
And
Today,
timely.
yeah, today the problem is I have so much information.
How do you
I don't know
synthesize it? How do you,
what am I looking at?
what's usable?
You
What's
only want to have on that
usable?
dashboard the
Yes.
5 or 6 things that are
Exactly.
actionable.
What am I going to
Yeah.
really use to make a difference in my business, to improve the business, to improve sales, to improve employee morale? What is that?
Yep.
And seeing the dashboard product today, it's got our KPIs, things that are very simple
It's
and
really good.
straightforward. It's pretty much simple to look at.
Yep.
It's simple for an operator to look at on a regular basis, maybe every hour, checking the labor, checking the sales. What am I doing? Am I overstaffed? Should I let somebody go home because the sales are a little bit slow because there's a snowstorm out?
Right.
All those type of things. The data, having the data is important, but more importantly, the way you position the data to make use of
Yep.
it. And I thought that was really clever.
And I think the customability is key because your dashboard might not be my dashboard.
Exactly.
Like every operation, I have 5
Exactly.
units, and fine dining very different than the multi units that what you guys are doing.
Exactly.
So the ability with what you want to look at might be different what I want to look at. So I think the flexibility to be able to do that is key. And I think the other thing is that an ops guy or girl wants to look at something different than the maybe the regional manager wants to look at. So everyone can see what's important to them. And I think
Absolutely right.
that's really key too.
Yeah, from a back of the house support office, we're going to look at, okay, what's my cash over short? And I want to look at maybe my region and who really perhaps for whatever reason was, short on their
Sure.
deposit today.
Yeah.
Maybe it's one of those things where they miscounted. And that's what we need to look at from our
And the culinary
perspective.
team has a completely different set. I
Completely
mean, they're looking at food cost and inventory
Absolutely.
and what the items are profitable and
And the labor's work.
the dogs and the winners and the losers and all the other
the
things out
PMX
there.
report.
Shetz, I have a question for you.
Oh,
Who has, speaks with a French accent, has 2 thumbs, and loves dashboards? Wow.
oh, that goes.
I love dashboards.
Yeah. Jimbo's
I
a
love
big list
I
guy.
love lists.
He's
I
a
love
big
dashboards.
list
I
guy.
like
He
when people
loves
give me
dashboards.
things that basically I can see right away
Yep.
where action needs to be taken. Don't give me a ream of data and tell me to go find it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Absolutely right.
I
can't
love the
deal
trouble
with
the
that.
dashboards.
We have today, we have so many reports, and I could sit there and I could look through all the reports. And you know what? Sometimes you just find a different answer in every report because they're not coming from the same source.
Yeah.
So when you have Restaurant 365, which is coming from your source of
Yes.
sale, your point of sale,
Truth, baby.
then the information that you're looking at is the accurate one because it's coming from the people that are selling the product and
I love
receiving
it.
the money for the product.
I love it. So let me ask you, what's your time frame? What do you think it's going to take to roll out Restaurant 365 to 200,000 stores?
I love it. Wow.
I mean,
200,000.
200,000 stores, these
Oh,
Carvels.
God,
I mean, that's going to take a while, right?
NTN.
Yeah, it's a lot of pretzels, a lot of, it's a lot of jumbos. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. So is there a time, like, what are you thinking? When do you think we'll get there? I mean, should we get you back on in 5 years? You got to be done, or is it next week?
We got to do it faster, not for 200,000 stores.
Yeah,
but
you're raising the bar a little bit, Chad.
yeah, we'll do something here in the next 6 months and we'll be happy. And I know the operations team will really find a huge benefit.
Absolutely. Jimmy, you hear something?
I'm hearing music.
Do you hear anything?
Yes, and Yildris is going like,
I hear it.
why is this game show?
Because it's time for the food service feed, baby. And we are here live at Restaurant 365 RTTTTT in Boston. We got the food service feud. I got to tell you, we love this. We love it. Are you ready to play?
Sure.
Jimbo, you ready to play?
Ready to play.
Jimmy has not won today. He's been a loser all day. And
it just wasn't a winner.
and we want to keep his record. We surveyed over 1 billion people on LinkedIn last week. 1 billion people. That's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people.
That's like more than 1 million.
Yes.
That's a lot of people. 1 billion people. We asked a question. Okay. We got the top 4 answers. Okay. I want you to get the number 1 answer.
All
Jimmy can never get the number 1 answer. Okay. Get your imaginary buzzer ready. Are you
All
ready?
right.
All right, Jimbo, here we go. Which chocolate bar is the global best seller? Is it Twix? Delicious. I love Twix. Left, right. Snickers? Hershey bar? Simple but delicious. Or the Kit Kat? Oh, yes, go.
Kit Kat.
I want to say yes, but no. Jimbo, care to steal to win fabulous prizes and gifts?
I want to end on top. So, show me Snickers.
Ding, ding, ding. Winner, chicken dinner, Jimbo. It's the last guest, and I guess we got to give Jimmy a winner. This Snickers. Snickers, the top-selling candy bar in the United States. It's produced by, of course, Mars. It's a classic chocolate bar made with nougat, caramel, and peanuts, and it's been a fan favorite in America since 1930. I got to tell you, loving the Snickers bar. All right, we got one last thing before we go. One last thing. Are you ready? Do you have a minute?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All
It
right.
only takes a minute.
All right, here we go. All right, we're going to do one last thing, all right? Branded quickfire, Boston edition. Wait, you live in Florida, right?
Yeah,
Coral Gables?
Miami.
Right?
Yes, Coral Gables.
That's what I meant, Coral Gables.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. That's right. You go to the Art House, right?
Yes,
Hyde Park.
the Yard House.
You're
And
going
I
to see
have a
Stevie. You're
great
going to see
servers.
Stevie there.
Steven is
tip.
the best there.
Big tip for
Steven,
Stevie.
for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going
All
next
right, here we
week.
go. Branded quickfire, Boston edition. This has nothing to do with Miami, nothing to do with Florida, okay? Favorite restaurant chain started in Boston. Legal Seafood, Pizzeria Bertucci's, or Papagino's? Oh, this isn't the game anymore.
Oh.
Yeah.
Legal Seafood.
Shit. By the way,
I know.
this is just your favorite. This is shit. You don't have to buzz anything.
I thought we're still playing.
Jimmy, you can steal. And we get prizes. What is the outfit?
Legal.
Oh, yeah. All right. What's your TV show? Favorite TV show set in Boston, okay? Is it Cheers?
Cheers. Cheers.
You didn't let me get there yet.
By the way, she's
All right.
not wrong.
All right, no,
Cheers. Everybody knows your name.
it is Cheers. It
It
is.
is Cheers.
When I play this song, Jimmy gets a little teary
I
eyed.
do.
He does. All
I
right.
was telling my team that and they had no idea.
Oh, that's
They're
so
young.
sad. You got to get some older
I know.
people.
I'm
Is that politically correct? You got to hire older people. I got to tell you got to get some
They're
50-year-olds.
They're better with
Yeah,
technology.
you need 50. Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, anyway, but 50-year-olds are more fun. All right. Favorite Boston-born celebrities: Mark Wahlberg, Uma Thurman, Ed Norton, Barbara Walters, or Conan O'Brien. You should do no buzzer. This is just your favorite. It's your
I
favorite.
used to love Barbara Walters.
What's he? I mean, she's dead, but you still love her.
I know. Yeah. I
You
like
can give it to her.
All right,
Yeah.
yeah. So that's your favorite.
That's
And there's no
favorite.
right answer, by the way.
Yeah.
This is your quick
Okay.
fire.
Barbara. Barbara.
Okay. Red Sox, Celtics, Bruins, or Patriots?
All right. I'll do the Bruins.
Okay. Are you going to the Bruins tonight?
Yes, that's
There you
right.
go. All right,
I can't,
let's go
I can't
Bruins.
do Celtics. I'm a Miami Heat person.
I would imagine so. All right. If you were to challenge Jimmy Rod to compete for the best time in the famous Boston Marathon, That's like a marathon. That's like 20 something miles.
It's like 26.2 miles, but you can round up or down if you want.
You get
Well,
really
it is-
specific there, Jimmy.
Because it is marathon, 26.2 miles.
Well, why not just 26? What's the point two?
You have to go back.
Came up with that.
We have to go back to Greek and history, but I'll do that another time.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yes.
26.2.
The accountant, he's very
Yeah,
accurate.
25 should be the number.
26.2.
25 should be the number. The whole thing is silly. All right. The three of us are running a marathon. It's a Boston Marathon, right?
Oh,
We have better odds of beating Jimmy or myself in this marathon. But Jimmy will wear sneakers. He won't wear those funny shoes.
I think Jimmy.
You can beat Jimmy. Why do you say that? Why do you think?
I don't.
All right.
know.
Don't feel
I-
bad. Jimmy ran a New York Marathon, by the way. He did very well.
There's a few, yeah. No, well,
It's
feel
okay.
like
You'll
one.
probably beat me because
It's
I haven't
finished.
run in a long time.
Didn't you win the New York
So-
Marathon in your age group or something? Your
definitely.
weight class? In your weight class?
And weight, height, English, and yeah.
Anyone who lived on 76th Street on every side. Yes. He won the New York Marathon for anyone living in his building at
Yes.
East 77th Street, I think.
Up on the 14th floor.
On the 14th floor, yes. All right, listen. Yeah, I would, by the way, I would be at Cheers having a drink. So, you would probably beat me too. But anyway, listen, this was awesome having you here. Really appreciate it. Love what you're doing over there at the famous fresh dining concepts with over 300,000 restaurants across the globe in Coral Gables in Miami. Lots of great brands. Love what you're doing. Great. Good luck on the Restaurant 365 implementation. I think it's probably the best thing you've ever done. I think you're going to be opening up. Well, how many stores do we have to get in the next 2 weeks?
We're gonna get like 100,000
Yes.
the next
Yeah, all right, we got a lot of work to do. This was great. Listen, thank you
for
so
having
much.
me.
Thank you so much. This is
Thank
great.
you.
Great.
Nice
Jimbo,
to
Please, both
we'll
of
wrap
you.
it up.
Thank you.
Yes, we're going to wrap it up. This has been a wonderful day here at R365, the RTT. We appreciate our friends from R365. We're not just hosting a podcast here at their event. We've also been customers with them for a long time. And we do appreciate what they do, not just for our restaurants, not just for us as operators, but really for the industry, really ally-centric. So thankful for all the guests they had spent some time with us. So we're going to sign off here from Boston, the Hospitality Hangout. I'm your finance guy, passing it back to my boy, Schatzberg.
It's Shatsy, the restaurant guy at the RTTTTP in Boston. We're having a great time, and cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everyone. Cheers.